Hi, Coach John here, and welcome back to part 2 of my 3-part video series on the 3 most important strategies that will double your referrals, triple your sales, quadruple your exposure, and 10x your success. I talked about all of that in the last video, and in video number 1, I also revealed the most important factor that decides whether people are going to want to do business with you or not, and that's your level of energy and enthusiasm. And in this video, I'm going to teach you the number 1 strategy that will allow you to determine your income and never have to worry about clients canceling or prospects saying no ever again. So in my early 20s, I had 2 friends, and they're brothers, and their dating lives couldn't have been more opposite. And we'll call them John and Tom, just to protect their identities. And John and Tom were only 11 months apart, and frankly, you could take them for twins. But if you got to know John and Tom, you could begin to see how different their personalities really were, especially when it came to asking the ladies out. Well, back then, we didn't have social media to help us. Heck, we didn't have internet, we didn't have cell phones. That stuff didn't even exist. We had to actually go up to the girls we wanted to meet, initiate a conversation out of thin air, and then ask them on a date. I mean, this was the only way. Again, there's no choices. This is what you want to do. You had to do it that way. And if you feared rejection, you're going to spend most of your Saturday nights alone. Well, John was shy and quiet and passive. And Tom, well, he was outgoing and funny and confident. And if you got to know them, you couldn't imagine they were brothers, but they looked alike, they sounded alike. Anyway, every so often when a new pretty girl would come into the local hangout, John would spend the entire evening trying to think about exactly what he was going to say, how he was going to make his approach, so on and so forth, super uber planning. And by the time he figured out his strategy, it was often too late, and he wouldn't pull the trigger, and the opportunity would disappear. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Tom, on the other hand, he never let any of the girls get away without getting their first name and usually an invitation for dinner or a phone number. So the more shyness got the better of John, the more his confidence waned, and fear of rejection just set in. Whereas Tom's confidence, it came from welcoming rejection. And this story is a perfect reflection of the 2 personalities that many businesses have. In fact, almost all businesses have. They're either like John, shy, quiet, passive, or they're like Tom, outgoing and funny and confident. And when it comes to life and business, it's pretty obvious which one will take you further and open more doors. But here's a little secret. 90% of the people out there, especially business owners, they're like John. Most of the people are like John, shy and quiet and passive, and they fear rejection. Now ask yourself this question. When was the last time that you walked into a business to pitch your product cold? When was the last time that you spoke at an event? When was the last time that you led a networking group? Chances are some great opportunities have come across your path, but something kept you frozen. Now you see, I'm really pretty familiar with this because deep down inside, I'm a lot more like John. I've struggled with doing things that I knew could produce incredible results. But I was worried, I was nervous. Rejection, the unknown, it paralyzed me. And it all changed for me though early on in life when I ran out of options. I knew I had to do something to get better results. When I got to the point of either survive or go broke, and going broke meant moving back home, I decided I was going to go down. I was going to go down swinging. I was in my early 20s and I took a job in sales. I had been laid off and I didn't have any savings. I needed a job right away. I needed to pay the rent. Well, sales then is the same as it is today. There are always sales jobs available. Everywhere you look, there are always sales jobs available. Why? Because this rejection thing drives people crazy and nobody wants those jobs. And just about every business needs a sales professional, especially commission sales. Now, Brian Tracy says that sales is the toughest easy job on the planet, and he's right. You can take it easy and work very few hours, but you won't make much money. You won't make very much money. Or you can work your fanny off and you can kill it. And I needed to pay the rent. So I dove in. I began to call and visit everyone I knew and let them know what I had to offer and how I could help. And then I asked for referrals and I made cold calls. I went door to door to businesses and talked to people who I had no idea who I was. I prospected and networked like a madman. And my pipeline began to fill up in a manner that I really couldn't believe. And as my pipeline filled up, so did my confidence. Well, from that point, the rest was history. But you know what I learned? I learned that the fear of rejection that had taken hold of me for so long, and the anxiety of clients canceling, they all came from simply not having enough leads in my pipeline. Just like Tom's confidence came from always knowing he'd have a date, even if the lady said no. Even if the next lady said no, he knew he had a date. You see, rejection is only rejection if you don't have other offers. And if your pipeline is bursting with new leads, you know that every uninterested prospect just gets you closer to your next client. So the number one strategy that will allow you to determine your income and never have to worry about clients canceling or prospects saying no is keeping your pipeline overflowing. Now, we both know there are lots of ways to fill your pipeline. But the strategy I'm going to give you right now is my most favorite method of getting leads and clients. And I call it the golden method. And I'm going to challenge you to commit to it for the next 2 weeks and see the incredible results that are waiting for you. All right, so here's the 10-day golden method challenge in 7 steps. You ready? Step 1, you're going to identify 10 people who you would love to have be clients of yours. People, amazing clients of yours, and they'd also be great referral sources. And these can be people that don't even know you. You could use LinkedIn. There's a whole bunch of different ways to find this out, but you want them to be great clients. The key is that they have to be golden opportunities. So you got to put some thought into it, craft your list carefully. You might have to allocate some time to make this happen. Step 2 is you're going to find a referral for each one of them. Before you ask for anything, you're going to give them a referral. This is the key. This is what's going to open the door for you. So write down the perfect referral for them on your list next to their name. And step 3 is you're going to call them. That's right. You're going to have to pick up the phone. No emails, no text, no social media. Pick up the phone and call them. And when you call them, you're going to tell them that you have someone you want to refer to them, and then you ask them if it's okay for you to connect them. They, of course, will say yes. Step 4, you're going to send a 3-way email to both of them, introducing them and giving each other a compliment. Here's an example. Jenny, I was thinking of you and wanted to introduce you to Janet, who is a stellar real estate agent and who works magic in getting first-time buyers into their dream homes. Get the picture? All right, step 5 is you're going to call your golden prospect the very next day, 24 hours later, and you're going to invite them to lunch. The key line that you're going to say to them is, what are you doing for lunch on Wednesday? And I wanted to learn who are the best types of clients I can refer to you. And what do you think they're going to say to that? They're going to turn you down for lunch? Step 6 is to shine. In order to shine, you need to look and act professional. When it's time for your lunch meeting, you got to be early and make sure that you pay for the check. And during your lunch, you're going to ask questions about how to improve their business first. What are their challenges? Let them tell you what they're trying to solve. And that will naturally open the conversation for you to provide solutions for them. You can pitch yourself. Because you've given them business and you bought them lunch, they're going to feel a lot more inclined to help you out. And step 7 is rinse and repeat for each of the other 9 people on your list and secure as many lunches as you can in the next 2 weeks. And a bonus step, go to the same lunch place each time. Now, just by being there and becoming known, you'll likely pick up new clients to sell to. Certainly some new prospects, some new opportunities. Now, if you did this 10 times, can you imagine the impact it would make to your business? Can you imagine how full your pipeline might become? Remember, fear of rejection comes from not having other offers to fall back on. So get out there and fill up your pipeline. I promise you, you'll take your business to levels that you can't even imagine. Sometimes a conversation with a trusted advisor can be just what you need to overcome a challenge that's affecting your energy or your attitude or fear of rejection or simply just fear of change or the unknown. If that's the case for you, then I encourage you to reach out for a complimentary conversation. You choose the topic or topics. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. What's the worst that could happen? Click on the link either above or below this video and book your conversation now. And after you've got your call booked, jump right back here and share a comment. You can help someone else on this page realize that they're not alone, or just let me know you were here. As a chess player, I know that when you make the right moves, you win the game. When you make the right moves in business, winning gets a lot easier. Cheers to your success.